Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on the Bob Wahl Show. On the Bob Wahl Show, we talk business, St. Louis, and real estate. I'm really excited today because we're talking home security with Robbie Springman from Secure Alarm Systems, Secure24.
Secure24, yeah.
Alarm Systems. They are an authorized ADT dealer, and today we're talking about simple tips to help make your home more secure.
Exactly.
So, Robbie, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
And you're going to kind of give us some simple but powerful tips as far as helping people make sure they have a more secure home.
Exactly, and it's really, like you said, simple. You
Right.
know, really, as far as burglars go, they like easy targets. So really, the most important thing is don't make yourself an easy target. I mean, there was a recent break-in Webster Groves where a couple guys actually broke in through the window with a shovel. Kind of one of the big things about that is, don't make it convenient for them. I don't know if they brought the shovel along with them or if it's something laying out in the yard. Sometimes people like to leave ladders out. Put the ladders away, put big heavy objects away.
So they broke into the home using the homeowner's shovel that was sitting right outside.
I'm not sure if it was the homeowner's shovel,
okay,
but I'm not sure if they were carrying it around with them or whatnot. But
right.
As far as that goes, like I said, don't make it convenient.
Don't make it easy.
If you have tools outside or a ladder that may allow them to get up to a second story window or maybe on a deck or patio, different things like that. So
good tip. I honestly never would have thought, as far as leaving garden tools outside, thought would have never crossed my mind as far as them being used as ways to break into a house or even weapons. But I mean, if it's worth definitely noteworthy. I hadn't considered that. So
I never thought about it, but it's like my dad would just get mad if we were leaving the tools out when I was a kid around the house. But I never really thought of it being as a potential danger to somebody trying to get into the house or anything like that.
Yeah, great. What else you got?
Simple exterior maintenance. Things people don't really think about a lot. Leaving the trash out. Door flyers. Things that may make it appear as if somebody's not home. I know bushes are a big one. People trimming the bushes, especially around the front windows, front walkways. It's a really easy spot for a burglar to hide. Was one of the things there. Like I mentioned earlier, when I was knocking doors back in high school, you walk up to a home and I didn't feel safe. Because nobody could see me from the streets. I didn't know who was going to answer the door. And, it made pretty good sense that, if a burglar is going to come in, he might feel safe behind the bushes because nobody can see him from the streets. It gives them a little more time to, maybe try and get through a window or, check the doors and different locks. Yeah,
very good point. And if you don't have, whether you're home or not, you made a good point about the flyers as well and leave behinds that people leave at your front door. Good to have those things removed, whether you're home or not. If you're not home, you don't want people to know you're not home. And if you are home, you still don't want your home to be more of a target and look like someone's not
neighbors
home.
will probably like it a little more, keep it clean. Even having, like I said, even having your neighbors, take your mail or pick up your mail, or if you have packages laying out, you have a package sitting out for 4 or 5 days.
Right.
Somebody's going to drive by and they notice that and they say, hey, nobody's been around to pick that up.
Right.
So.
Cool. Yeah. Very good point. Very good point. What else you got?
Yeah. So another big thing that kind of goes along with that, with the exterior side of it, keeping it lit. At night. I know a lot of people have the motion detectors on there. Lights for the driveways and whatnot. Keeping your pathways. The front door lit. Like I said, they like easy target. So when people are walking up the house, if they got all the lights shining down on them, they're going to be a little less tempted to want to hang around and see what they can do.
Yeah, for sure. And lighting's a big piece of it. I live in a townhome community right now, and the association, which I used to be on the board on, but not currently, but they push and require people to have the sensory lights in the back of their garages. That way the whole courtyard is lit well if anyone's walking through there, and it's strongly encouraged to have your front light porch on at all times too, just to help and keep the overall community so well lit, because it's a little bit more confined of a community, and when it's well lit, it definitely helps deter any riffraff. And if there is anyone walking through there, they definitely stand out because they can be seen pretty easily with as compact of a community as it is. So good point. Yeah, good point for sure. You mentioned something along the lines of the, carbon monoxide detectors, smoke detectors. I'll let you talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so there's actually a pretty cool article that they shared on our Facebook page. It was an older lady, I guess she had been sleeping, was actually woke up in the middle of the night with her detectors going off. You know, it's a situation where she didn't smell anything, you know, she couldn't see anything, she's in her sleep. So she has no idea what's going on, you know, the detectors start going off, and she actually warned her with enough time for her to be able to get her cats and get out of the house. You know, everyone was safe there.
And that was because of carbon monoxide?
As a smoke detector.
The smoke detector, I'm sorry.
Fire.
Okay, yeah. And the same principles with carbon monoxide.
You know, like carbon
Detectors,
monoxide, it's something that you can't smell it, you can't taste it, you know, you can't see it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, simply having a carbon monoxide detector in the home, I mean, you know, like I said, it can save lives.
Yeah.
You know, and going back on that, radon's another big one. You know, I've been hearing more and more about, you know, it's the second largest leading cause of cancer. You know, another one of those things, you can't see it, you can't taste it, you know, you really don't know it's there until it's too late.
Right. And I just did a 4-episode series on radon, and you guys can check back on those if you're looking to get more educated on radon, but definitely something that's worth having a test done just to make sure that you're not putting yourself at risk for lung cancer.
Exactly.
So as far as you also have a good note, have a plan when it comes to natural disasters and burglars.
Really having a plan, I mean, no matter what the situation is, whether it's a natural disaster, I mean, you know, in schools they prepare you knowing where to go, whether it's an earthquake or a tornado, and you know, especially people who have kids, you know, they may not know where the best room in the house is to go if the tornado sirens start going off. So having a plan, you know, being prepared, like I said, all these different events that may be happening, just really being aware ahead of time. You know, some of the preparation, like I said, you know, with the fire and smoke detectors, you know, keeping the place maintained. Another thing, being really aware of your surroundings, you know, knowing your neighbors, knowing the cars that are coming in and out of the neighborhood. You know, you may even have a good neighbor like myself. You know, we have a neighbor right across the road who keeps an eye out for us when we're out of town.
Right.
You know, when I was a kid, we actually, every time my parents would ditch town, you know, they'd always make a quick note to say, hey, you know, don't be thinking about having anybody over because the parents are watching the house, you know, across the street. So getting to know the neighbors, you know, knowing everybody that's going to be in your community, you know, if there's suspicious vehicles, you're aware.
For sure, and knowing the neighbors is a really good security plan, especially when you have kids, when you're talking about having children, and that's in the mix. Knowing the neighbors is very important because that's for obvious reasons. So, for many reasons.
Some people get really friendly with the neighbors and they add them on Facebook, and you know, kind of another point to make with that is, you know, having a plan by not broadcasting your plans.
Right.
You know, everybody wants to talk about it on Facebook, and you know, you know, like this is going to go on Facebook. It's huge. It's where everybody's going to be. You know, I think they said like 70% of people check Facebook before they get out of bed in the morning. You know, Facebook users. So if you're on there talking about leaving for a vacation, you know, next week or you know, whatever it might be, you're posting pics when you're out in Florida on the beach, you know, people know that you're not at home.
Right.
You know, so maybe wait until after your vacation to, you know, start posting about, you know, all the kids and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. It's best not to do that. That's good practice for sure. So, well, anything else that we didn't cover? I think you pretty much went down the list.
Yeah, covered quite a few things. I mean, ultimately, obviously, kind of my expertise, put a security system into place. I mean, you know, we do everything from, you know, the basic door monitoring, you know, the door contacts. We'll cover your windows, motion detectors. You know, we do a lot of the home automation as well. You know, we've mentioned keeping the place lit. With the home automation, you can actually control all of that from the phone. So let's say you're on vacation and you know, all the lights are off in the place. You can turn them on at night or turn different rooms on. You know, it's just something to make it look like there's somebody at home. You know, like burglars like easy targets. If they know somebody's gonna be home, it's a lot less likely for them to, you know, go in the house.
Right. Well, really good info. I appreciate you coming on. I really good topic to cover for sure. Going into home buying season as well. Good to have have a refresher course on things to consider when trying to make your home more safe and secure.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on.
Great. Yeah, we'll do something again in the future for sure if you're open to it.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to it.
Well, that concludes this week's episode of The Bob Wahl Show. Thanks, Robbie, for coming on. I will say goodbye for now and see you guys next week.